For my Pulitzer Prize winning article, I chose Fatal Distraction by Gene Weingarten. The three-word description is Forgetful Parents Mourn. Gene Weingarten usually writes about humor columns for the Washington Post, but for this occasion, he has written about a much more serious topic. What is a parent left with when they leave their child to burn alive in the back of their car? Unbridled guilt for years to come. Fortunately, these forgetful individuals are not in terrible company and they have a great bond with each other. American journalist and former syndicated humor columnist Gene Weingarten is the only two-time winner of the Pulitzer Prize for feature writing. Weingarten is known for both his serious and his humorous work. This story is about the one absent-minded Miles Harrison, who has left his son in the car for 9 hours to lead to his son's death. Before I mention what kind of people this happened to, what kind of people do you think this has happened to? This has happened to literally anyone. This has happened to a nurse, an accountant, a Protestant clergyman, a rabbinical student, and a vice principal. It even happened to a rocket scientist. Despite not needing a hook, Gene still manages to hook me in. There were never parts where I lost interest, and that says a lot because of the attention span that people usually have nowadays, and especially with mine. There were times where I would have to go look back and reorient myself because of how quickly he jumps from person to person, scenario to scenario. But in this little part, Gene captures this sense of extreme maternal guilt masterfully when talking about Lynn Balfour, Army reservist. The tape is unendurable. Mostly you hear a woman's voice, tense but precise, explaining to a police dispatcher what she is seeing. Initially, there's nothing in the background. Then Balfour howls at the top of her lungs. Oh my God, no. Then, for a few seconds, nothing. Then a deafening shriek. No, no, please no. 3 more seconds then. Please, God, no, please. What is happening is that Balfour is administering CPR. At that moment, she recalls she felt like two people occupying one body. Lynn, the crisply efficient certified combat lifesaver, and Lynn, the incompetent mother who would never again know happiness. To conclude, there were parts that were hard for me to get over or digest without feeling great despair. There's one scenario where a little girl rips all the hair out of her head due to all the stress she was feeling in the back seat before she died. Gene isn't necessarily who I would think to write about such a topic, but he does it so well that you wouldn't even know that he writes humor. Despite how well written and captivating, there were times where I got confused when he jumped from person to person when he was talking about different stories. I would sometimes just get a little lost in minor details. But overall, this was written well because of how it emotionally impacted me. It made me attached to this issue and all the individuals impacted by it, and it made me think. It was thought provoking.